doing it tomorrow.
Panthers hanging from an upside down bridge
right.
under construction.
All right. Let's see. Get on the right thing. Welcome back, everybody. This is Last Call, and we're going to power through the creation of our AI image for the thumbnail right now, based off of Tim's genius building a bridge upside down.
Yeah, you guys missed it. A lot of times we would start this right away, but this new thing doesn't really start that fast.
All right.
But I googled it, Tim saying the building a bridge upside down, because I was like, oh, that's an interesting saying. It's not a saying.
Oh, it is. I made it. Oh, why did my camera just move?
Yeah, it's still moving. That was weird.
It's like there's someone in my room.
Oh, but you're serious.
It's because I went this way. What if I do this?
Nope.
Doesn't seem to care.
I mean, I was like, oh, I wonder where that came from, and I googled it and nothing was there, and I was like, oh, Tim, did you make that shit up? Yes.
Don't tell anybody.
No, nice. It's good. It's a weird thing to just make up on the fly.
Well, it's like
if you tweet it out, someone will retweet it.
I will. No, I might not.
That didn't work.
You have a political career. You shouldn't do that.
I still talk about Georgia State stuff.
Just
whatever. People. I have over 6,000 followers. I think I'm heading up to 7,000.
Well, that's the direction you go when you're over 6,000. Is you're heading towards.
No, I think what I meant by that phrase is that I think I'm close. I think I'm in the upper 6,000s.
Ah, there you go.
So,
it's gonna finish.
That's as many people as. That's more fans than Georgia State has. So,
I made a comment about Texas State going to the pack again because
are they going to do it?
Right before I came on, there was a post on the Sunbelt message board about Texas State, some tweet X thing that went out, and it was saying that there's renewed interest between both the Pac and Texas State, though no offer has been or no invitation has come out. And I looked at the guy to see who it was, and he has less followers than us on Twitter. So I'm like, if you have less followers than us, I don't trust you for reporting anything at all. So
unless it was Ben.
Ben has way more followers than us.
I know.
And way more beef with people because he just goes out shit talking.
He gets into so much fucking
he does a good job at it. Yeah.
He looks for it and embraces it and fires up them. It's good for engagement. I'm sure he gets a lot of followers out of it and a lot of exposure out of it. I just couldn't keep up with it.
It's a lot of work. No. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I run a mostly positive Twitter account, and it's a lot of work. But man, I just couldn't imagine pissing everybody off every day and just engaging with them. So
I go through my ups and downs when I'm paying a lot of attention to the Twitter account and I try to do Ben at like the 1/10 of the scale that he does it. I try to create beef and everything.
We keep it fun, I think. The shit talk that you do is more like playful and like positive almost. Like
there might have been a few recently where you're.
Yeah, well, my point was like as soon as somebody bites and it starts going back and forth, I'm like sitting at my desk at work.
Stop replying.
I'm like, stop, just shut up. Like I'm tired of talking to you. Like whatever. But yeah. I did get into one with a trash guy, and he ended it with he thinks we'll do good the rest of the season or something like that, and I'm like. Thank God you said something. I'm just not going to reply to that one at all. I didn't even like it.
You should have replied with heart, love you. He's so confused. They don't get a lot of love down there, do they?
The love they're getting, they don't want. The love they want, they're not getting.
Everything I heard about that school is it's a lot. They are all loving each other.
There is love on love on love.
No, that's the thing I heard about the women at Trash Down South is the love they want, they're not getting, and the love they don't want, they are getting. It's
coming all over.
Oh, hey. Hey, now,
You
hey,
know, the wrong love, right?
dude, it is amazing how many you would think these AI tools would like stay away from trademarked or copyright content. How many times I have to like just disband a really good image that gets created for this shit because it has a Carolina Panthers logo, mostly several of them all over the thing. It just like gives me so many.
Can you
Carolina
just say like this one, but without the Carolina Panthers logo?
Yes, and you get a completely different image that has Carolina Panthers logos on it.
It's like the thing you don't want. I'm going to keep putting in the image.
The AI is not yet taking jobs.
Yeah, it also doesn't. Tim, you are so forward thinking that AI does not know how to process an image with a bridge being built upside down. It just it just has people on ladders that go nowhere and a bridge under construction in the background. So I'll keep working at this and see what I can get. Also, this one image, one guy just has a toy truck driving over his back. So
I tried to use an image generator. I was trying to restart the Libertarian Party of Atlanta, and we were having our very first.
Folded?
Well, I mean, we really haven't done anything for a little while. So I was trying to have a meeting, a first meeting for a long time at the beer garden up the street, at the Halfway Crooks Beer Garden. So I typed in that into the image generator, and let me tell you, political rally at a German place.
oh,
Did not want those images. Didn't want
I'm
those.
surprised they would create that.
Didn't want that. Well, they were generic enough that like it made sense that the AI generated it, but I was like, I'm not putting this anywhere.
You.
Nope.
You have to share some of what it output.
I mean, you can just go do it. I didn't do anything that cost money, so. But it was just like it was very German and political rally, which I think the whole world just has one image for that. Even Germans, I think, have one image for that.
Probably.
I'm resisting so many comments right now. Hey, I voted today.
Nice.
You did? How was the experience? Did you feel like your vote was counted?
Yeah, I saw the number go up from 6677 to 6678. So I told her, I was like, I'm going to come back and check 6678 and make sure that one got all the right stuff in there. And she said, okay.
She's like, sure, you do that, sir.
Yeah. No. Also, that's just a counter. There's no ID on.
I was joking.
I know. I'm just.
Ryan.
It's.
You could literally shove a piece of paper in and take it back out.
Although I did think it was funny because they have these like little cabinet things that they roll out to all these different polling precincts with the doors that open up to provide privacy. Except for mine was pointed directly towards the line of people that were coming in, but slightly at an angle, so they could see right over my shoulder to see who I was voting for if they could read that far away.
We've complained about that a lot, and they don't seem to care. They're like, "No, it's private." I'm like, it's not.
Dude, I'm in downtown Atlanta. Everyone is voting for the exact same people, so it's not really going anywhere.
Helpful. You're everyone.
Yes, and I'm voting for people,
and not the same people.
I don't vote a lot. I'm sorry, I don't vote for every office. In fact, someone's running unopposed, I don't vote.
Yeah.
And if I didn't pay any research into them, I don't vote.
Yeah.
So
I used to vote against the incumbent, and then I started. And then one time I like looked into some of the incumbents, and I was like, "Oh, nope, not doing that." Or I looked at some of the people running against the incumbent, and I was like, "I don't want to vote for that person. I'm not doing that."
I was the exact same way. I would vote against any if I knew nothing about him, I'd vote against the incumbent. And then same thing. I looked into information about some people that were running against incumbents, and I was like, oh, no, that's
bad news.
Yeah,
I'll just not vote for that one.
Yeah.
So,
I'm determined to get this upside down bridge being built.
Well, I've already voted like 3 or 4 times, and plan on going 5 or 6 more.
It's like American Idol, right? You can vote every day.
Oh, every day. Who you're voting for then?
Yeah, vote early, vote often.
Yeah, and on election day, you get 1 extra vote if you do.
I don't really like the lines. I don't really like the lines then, so I'm just gonna get in all my votes in early voting.
What I found with where I used to live is all the people vote early because they're all older. So when I would show up at 5, whatever, short line, just get right in.
Oh, yeah.
Get out.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've never experienced long lines in voting. Like I've been voting since '96, and I have 97, I guess. I've been voting since '97, and I've never experienced long lines anywhere I've ever gone.
There was a primary a few years ago
Yeah.
that was really bad. At the the place up here. Where do I vote? It's the
Funplex, Fanplex.
yeah, Fanplex. That's it. And there was a crazy line, and I just drove by, and I was like, I don't care enough about the primary.
You're like, nah.
Like I'm not even part of those parties, so like I sort of already am like, maybe I shouldn't even do this, but I'm like, they
Right.
let me, so why wouldn't I?
Today may have been the longest line I've ever waited in, and I've never voted early. I've always voted a day of. This is the first time I've ever voted early, and I was maybe there for 10 or 15 minutes, like total.
Why did you vote early?
I was just driving back from dropping my son off at daycare,
Yeah.
and it was like on the way back, and I was like, let me just swing by, and there was a parking spot, so I went in, and there you go.
It's good. Why not?
Shove your paper in the
Kim's gonna be out of town when the election's actually going on, so the girls will be out of school. So if I were to go on that day, I have to bring them with me, which is fine, no big deal. But now I don't have to.
Georgia's really generous with the early voting, so take advantage. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might do it.
I usually do week 2, so this week. Because like the first week, I feel like there's all the
Long
early
line.
voters are like, I just want to go do it and get it done with, and then
I want to be number 1.
And then the third week, everyone's like, I better do this before election day, and like they're getting it last minute. The second week is like the sweet spot.
Sweet spot, yeah.
I feel like they said something along these lines, and I'm sure I'm misrepresenting the numbers, but there's like been the first few days of Georgia early voting, there was more than they had all early voting last
Yeah, that makes
4
sense.
years, whatever. So if there was 100,000 people that voted early last time, there was like 300,000 that voted early in the first couple of days. Like they're getting a lot of people in. People are understandably excited about voting in this election.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think if we were a state where everyone had to vote on election day, it would be a fucking shit show. Like,
yeah,
there would be lines. You probably might not vote. You might drive by and be like, "Oh hell no, I ain't doing that." Right?
Yeah. Well, I was a big proponent of day of voting. I just kind of like the ceremonial aspect of it. Like this is the day you do this kind of thing, but shit happens. Once you got 3 kids, you don't know when a kid's going to be sick and you can't do something, or you can't spend 2 hours in line. Should that be the case? Never been the case for me.
Could be though.
Can you imagine your 3 kids in line for 2 hours?
Oh my God, it's miserable. Yeah. So I was like,
Fulton County mismanages elections like no other. So, there being a long line would not be weird.
There'd be 2 machines at a location with 10,000 people and 15 machines at a location with 10 people.
It happens.
Counting's hard, y'all.
Then they blame the Secretary of State. I'm like, you guys run this, not them.
Yeah, they're like, here's the machines. What machines do you need? This many. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Dole them out.
Yep.
We're getting too political.
This is the most political conversation we've ever had on the podcast without actually being political.
I was going to say we stayed away from it, which is nice.
We're tiptoeing. We're talking about technology. We're talking about early voting. If you're listening, go out and vote.
As a techno nerd, there we go. Now we're pushing. As a techno nerd, I think this would be voting is the only thing where I think paper ballots make the most sense.
Me too.
Like, just go back to old school, sign my name,
technology doesn't work.
Check it box or plug all. Technology can be compromised, So, any final Georgia State statements to get us out of here?
Just come to me. It's fun, even if we lose.
Big W coming Saturday. Big W.
All right, there we go. For who? Basketball.
Someone. Oh, I thought you
Basketball,
were saying for Appy or for Georgia State.
For us.
Initi-
For us.
Initially, I was, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, basketball's playing too." So there we go.
Big
I would-
big W for basketball, but also big W for football.
some capital dubs. All right,
We're gonna erase all that natural disaster.
I want
home team
nothing.
wins big.
I want absolutely nothing more to come on this podcast on next Tuesday and just blast Ryan for saying that we could never beat Appy State. So,
Gibson is gonna carve them up.
I did not
Watch
say
it.
we could
the
never.
Appy
beat them.
killer, Zach Gibson, Appy killer.
I never said
Yeah.
we could never beat them.
Well,
We just
that's
haven't
all right.
yet.
I'm just saying there's no
Oh,
reason
and he
to say
froze.
we will until we
Yeah.
do.
All right. But bump. Peace out. Talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.